Cheekyricho's Easter Simnel cake.
Hi and welcome to Cheekyricho's Simnel cake. This Easter delicacy is traditionally served at Easter with 11 little marzipan or almond paste balls on the top of it. Each one of these balls is to symbolise one of the 12 apostles. Judas has been deliberately excluded. The ingredients will be in the recipe box below. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to add our room temperature butter to the bowl and the brown sugar, and we're going to mix this until combined. This is what you should have. It's much lighter in colour, very soft and creamy. We're going to add our eggs one at a time and beat those in after each addition. Okay, you can see how lovely and fluffy this is now. It's all combined, the sugar's completely dissolved, and now we are going to add our flour and beat that in as well. I just scrape down the sides to make sure everything comes into contact with everything else, and in with our flour. Just gently at first so we don't cause a dust storm, and the rest. And now we send our fruit in. And we just need to basically fold this through to the lowest speed. Now we prepare a springform pan by lining it with paper and spread half of our mixture into the bottom of it. Okay, here is our almond paste. Now we need to bind this. It's come out of the fridge, so it's really quite stiff. We're going to divide it into 3. And we need to make a circle a little bit bigger than that. Okay, now we're going to roll this out. If it sticks to your rolling pin, just sprinkle a little powdered sugar onto your mat and onto your rolling pin, and it should release quite easily. Okay, now we get our cake and we lay our circle in on top of our cake. Just press down the edges too, and that's what you should have. Now it's in with the balance of our cake mix. Spread it right out. Get it as smooth as you can. This is what you should have. Tap it down a few times into a 150-degree oven for 2.5 hours. Until it's brown all over and quite firm. Now with our remaining circle, we need to make it into 8-inch or 20-centimetre circle as well. When the cake is cooked, this gets put on top of it. Just roll that out. You can't use it for 2.5 hours, but if it's rolled out now, it's all ready to go when it comes out of the oven. Okay, we've rolled out our second third into a circle, and we're just going to cover that so it doesn't dry out. Our remaining third has to be rolled into 11 little balls. Try and make them as even as possible because they are going to be placed around the cake when the cake comes out of the oven. Rob Peter to pay Paul. Pretty biblical. Okay, now we've just got to wait for our cake to come out of the oven. Okay, after 2 hours and 20 minutes, this is what you should have. It's firm to touch, nicely browned, flat on the top, smells divine. We have to allow it to rest on a cake cooler for about 10 minutes before we finish it off. Okay, our cake has cooled slightly in the tin. It's time to remove the tin and allow it to cool completely before we can finish the cake. Looks pretty good. We've got to allow it to cool completely. Okay, our cake has cooled and we're just going to spread it with some apricot jam all over, and this will help our almond paste stick to it. So we're only doing the top because that's the only place that we're putting our almond paste. So just spread it all around. Okay, now it's been covered with our apricot jam, and we are going to get our almond paste and lay it on the top. Any little cracks, just sort of seal them. And now we have to cut this off at the edge of the cake. Using a sharp knife, just cut the edges off around the edge of the cake, like so. If you hold the cake off the bench, it will be a lot easier because you're going to be cutting in a downward motion. Can you see that? Just take your time with this because this is the presentation that you're taking care with, and try not to drop the cake, could get ugly. Don't try and do this before you put it on the cake because you're going to be flat out lining it up. Just brush off any extra bits of almond meal. And don't waste these little bits of almond meal, they're really quite nice to eat. Now, that's what our cake looks like on top. We're going to get our egg wash and give it a brush all over, like painting. Now we have to lay our 11 little round balls on that. Right, now give them a little press in because we need them to bond with the cake. Now the egg wash will assist in that, but you don't want them rolling off. Give them just a really good firm press down. And now we just gently brush the top of those little balls with our egg wash. Be a bit delicate here because they're going to probably want to try and roll off. It's a little bit bigger, that guy. Okay. Now we're going to pop it under a griller or a broiler until it's lightly browned on top. Don't leave it at this stage because this is the final step, and if it burns it'll be not good. So into the broiler we go, or under the griller we go. Okay, after a couple of minutes under a medium grill, this is what you should have. Your Easter Simnel cake is cooked. I hope you enjoyed this little cooking demonstration of cheekyricho's Easter Simnel cake. If you'd like to see more interesting recipes and ideas, please check out my cheekyricho channel. And don't forget to please subscribe. Cheekyricho's Easter Simnel cake. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to take care this Easter and have a safe and happy Easter.